All right, let's get right into it. If you've ever applied for an NYDA grant and heard that soul-crushing phrase, application declined, then this is for you. We're pulling back the curtain today. We're not just going to talk about the process. We're going to build your blueprint for getting that approved stamp. 50,000 Rand. I mean, that number, it sounds like a dream, doesn't it? That's the cash that could launch your business, buy that key piece of equipment, or just finally help you scale your hustle. But let's be real, for way too many entrepreneurs in South Africa, trying to get it feels more like a nightmare. And if that feeling sounds familiar, trust me, you are not alone. It's a super frustrating process. But here's the thing. What if I told you that the reason you're getting rejected probably has nothing to do with your business idea? What if it's because of a set of unwritten rules? Rules that, once you see them, well, they change the entire game. So what is this hidden checklist? That's the million-round question, right? And that's exactly what we're going to break down today. There is a specific list of things they're looking for that they just don't advertise. And I promise you, once you understand it, your application is going to fly from the bottom of the pile right to the very top. So here's our game plan. First, we'll tackle the SYB gatekeeper that trips everyone up. Then we'll dive into building a bankable business plan. After that, it's all about the day 6 final pitch. And finally, we'll tie it all together into your very own approval blueprint. Let's do this. Okay, phase 1. Now listen closely, because this is where almost everyone gets it wrong, right from the get-go. They think the first move is to apply for the money. Nope, that is the single biggest mistake you can possibly make. Before you even think about that grant application, you've got to get past the real gatekeeper. And that gatekeeper? It's the business management training, or BMT. See, you've got to remember, the NYDA is a development agency. They aren't just handing out cash. They're investing in people they believe can build real, sustainable businesses. And this training, well, it's their #1 filter. It is absolutely non-negotiable. You can't skip it. Just look at the difference here. On the left, that's the trap so many of you fall into. You apply for the grant, then you wait. Then they tell you to do the training, and you end up waiting for months. It's pure frustration. But the blueprint strategy on the right, it's smart. It's proactive. You apply for the training first. Not only does this show you're serious, but the course itself literally gives you the tools to build the exact business plan they want to see. Now, when you get to their portal, you'll see a few options, kind of like different doors. You've got GYB, SYB, IYB, but for the grant funding, the one you need to focus on is right there in the middle, SYB. It stands for Start Your Business. And here's the pro tip. Don't wait for them to tell you to do it. Go to the portal and apply for the SYB training today. Seriously, it's like getting the answers to the exam before you even sit down for the test. Okay, so once you've got that training lined up, we move on to the absolute heart of your application. This is the #1 reason people get rejected, the business plan itself. See, for the NYDA panel, a good idea just doesn't cut it. Your plan needs to be, in their words, bankable. So let's unpack the 4 secrets to making sure it is.
All right, secret #1 is all about your market analysis. And I mean hyperlocal. Don't just copy-paste from Google and say, the laundry market in South Africa is growing. No, you need to say, I went out and I surveyed 50 people right here in my ward in Khayelitsha, and you know what? 40 of them told me they have to travel 10 kilometers just to find a decent laundry service. That is primary research. It's real data from your actual street, and it proves there's a real need.
Secret #2 might sound a little weird, but your financials have to be, well, brutally realistic. If your plan shows this perfect, steady income every single month, that's actually a huge red flag for them. A truly bankable plan shows that you know business isn't perfect. You know there will be slow months, like a quiet January, and more importantly, you have a strategy for how you're going to survive them. Now, secret #3. This one is an absolute deal breaker. You have to remember what the D in NYDA stands for, development. Their money must have a social return on investment. This is what we call the Ubuntu impact. So please, don't just say, oh, I hope to hire some people later on. No, you need to write, with this 50,000 Rand, I will create 2 permanent jobs for youth from my community in the next 6 months. Now that is a bankable statement. And last but not least, secret #4, you have to prove you can actually do the work, right? An amazing idea for a catering company means nothing if you can't cook. A brilliant plan for a web design agency is useless if you can't code. So attach your CV, a certificate, a portfolio, whatever you've got. You have to prove that you are the right person to make this happen.
Okay, that's a lot of theory. Let's make this super practical. Let's say your business idea is collecting and returning empty glass bottles for the local taverns. We'll call it returnables management. It's a good, solid, practical idea. But the question is, how do we make it speak the NYDA's language? And this is where the magic happens. Look at this. On the left, you have your basic concept, but on the right, that's how you frame it for them. Your returnables management idea, that becomes circular economy logistics. Boom. Suddenly, you're creating green jobs. Your tavern partnership, that's now a township micro-franchise network. See, you're hitting their strategic goals. You're not changing your business at all. You're just translating it into the language they want to hear. Okay, so you've gotten past the gatekeeper. You've built a rock-solid, bankable plan. Now comes the final hurdle, the moment of truth. Day 6 of that SYB training, it's the final pitch. And this isn't just some presentation, guys. This is you defending your dream.
And you get exactly 10 minutes. 10. That is it. That is not a lot of time, which means every single second, every single word has to count. Preparation here isn't just important, it's literally everything. You cannot afford to waffle.
So how do you win in just 10 minutes? Well, it really boils down to 3 key secrets. You've got to ace the sustainability test, you need to own your numbers completely, and you have to walk out of that room with your certificate in hand. You can bet the panel is going to test you. They're going to throw some tough, real-world questions your way just to see if you've thought things through. A classic question they love to ask is this. Okay, so what happens if your biggest client, the one who brings in 40% of your income, decides to leave tomorrow? So what's the winning response? It's not all panic. It's this. I've already thought about that risk. That's exactly why my strategy is to make sure no single client is ever more than 20% of my total revenue. In fact, I have a list of 10 other potential clients that I'm marketing to right now to keep my income diversified. That is a winning answer. It shows you're thinking ahead. And on the other hand, you have to avoid these red flags at all costs. If they ask you for your break-even point and you hesitate, they're going to think you didn't even write your own plan. You got to show them you have skin in the game, your own time, your own effort. And again, that vague promise of hiring later, that's a failing answer. Be specific. All right, we've done it. We've navigated the gatekeeper, we've built a bankable plan, and we've prepped for that final defense. So now, let's bring it all together. Let's assemble your simple step-by-step blueprint for getting that approved stamp. So really, it all comes down to this simple 3-step blueprint. Step 1, be proactive. Get that SYB training done before you even apply for the grant. Step 2, be bankable. Build a business plan that screams local research, realistic financials, and clear job creation. And step 3, be prepared. Know your numbers cold and walk into that 10-minute pitch ready to go. And that's it. It really is that simple. You now have the hidden checklist. You have the blueprint. The power is officially in your hands. So the only question left is this. What is the very first step you're going to take today to make your business a bankable, NYDA-approved reality?